Welcome back, guys. After another 3-minute break, we're again at 2-0, this time in favor of the Jin Air Green Wings over Samsung Galaxy Con. Both Deer and Journey have fallen tomorrow in SOS, and now it's all up to BrAvO to keep Samsung Galaxy's hopes alive.
That's right.
Of making the playoffs.
They need at least 2 wins to give them a shot in the dark at making it to those playoffs. So BrAvO's got to do some work, and then Reality got to try and take that to an ace match. Maybe they can do it, Valdez. Just maybe.
I think if BrAvO can win one here, it's really all up to him, because I think Pure versus Reality is much closer compared to Rogue versus BrAvO. I think Rogue is right now on a higher level than BrAvO. It's pretty clear. But we'll see if he's able to pull one out here. The last game we saw out of BrAvO was him against Jakji, where it was like the sloppiest TBT I had ever seen. It was insane.
Yeah, that actually happens more than you'd expect, especially from BrAvO. But here we go. We got a couple of people actually cheering on BrAvO today.
Yeah, but Team Salmon's staying strong. It's us and the MC over there on the Korean desk.
The Salmonites unite. We are we stay as
Salmon
one.
Nation. Hashtag
Salmon Nation. Even though we don't wear salmon anymore.
Yeah. Now we just wear like bland gray.
We just have tattoos that are salmon.
Yeah. You guys can't see it, but it's there.
Yep.
The passion is alive for the Salmons.
That's right.
Here's Rogue. He's 12-4, 3-0 against Terran.
Yeah, he has just been playing so well. Really one of the best Zogue players, especially he performs so much better in Pro League than any other league, because he much less, maybe he just does well in these best-of-1 situations. The pressure doesn't get to him as much. Like when we see him playing these best-of series, usually kind of like starts to trip mentally if he loses 1 or 2 games. So he doesn't have to worry about that here.
He's usually pretty calm and clear-minded when he comes into these games. It's when we see his best play. You're exactly right, Moonglade. Here's BrAvO. Everything comes down to this guy. He's got to win here. There's no other chance. Him and Reality have to do 1-2 punch for Samsung Galaxy Con, but they're facing one of the strongest teams in the entire league over here at Pro League. So we'll see what he can do. It's going to be on Cactus Valley, a gigantic map. This guy is known for his mech play against both Terran and Zerg. See if he can make it work against Rogue.
It's going to be a tough one. Rogue is actually fantastic against mech as well.
Yeah.
He's been prepared for it very well in the past. Having some amazing TV mech games.
We'll see if he has that prepared or something else to try to snipe out Rogue, because it's going to be a hard game coming ahead here for BrAvO. Looking focused, but Rogue is too. Let's see how it's all going to come down on Cactus Valley right now. Up here in the top left, in the green, it is Rogue.
Down here, bottom left, we do have the Samsung player whose name is BrAvO.
That is his Moonglade.
Nearly Valdez.
Yeah, close, but you got it out. Squeezed it out. Rogue being favored here with 69%. Everything's going right so far for Rogue.
Doing just fine. Got the lucky number.
Yeah. As least you can say. He's also got his Overlord on the correct path towards BrAvO.
He's going to get a great scout off, and let's see what BrAvO's got planned here. Already got a second SCV moving down the ramp, so it looks like he might be going for a proxy. This could bold pretty bad for him, because if this Overlord is bold enough to go near the ramp, he's going to see nothing there and realize, okay, you're actually going to be a little bit of a cheeky player. And is it going to be double racks? Yes, it is. 2 racks.
You know, I actually like the fact that BrAvO is doing this. He's respecting Rogue so much. He's also playing against the map. He's saying Rogue isn't going to expect this. He's just going to go hats first. And if I can squeak this one by Rogue and he doesn't scout it and maybe get ahead, this may be my chance.
This could be it. We're actually going to see a hatch first from Rogue, as expected on a map this big. I think one of the last things Rogue will be expecting is the 2 racks proxy on this map, because it is so big. It's going to require a lot of scouting from BrAvO.
We also haven't seen this in a pretty long time. Beyond was the guy who was going to do it, but then got scouted.
Yeah, that's a great sort of best of one build, especially when it hasn't been used in this long, right?
Yeah. Well, the Overlord is already here, about to scout that ramp. So I think Rogue is going to notice something's up. And he puts down the pool right after that hatch, too.
Let's see. He's going to turn his Overlord around because he doesn't want to lose it to a Marine if it happens to be one coming out of the racks down there. So he's going to be in a bit of the dark until this Overlord scouts an SCV coming up towards him. Is he going to read this and go, oh, not yet?
Nah, I think he's got to have some idea here. We already have that bunker coming down,
I don't think he has any idea, Valdez. He's going to, his first scout is going to be that bunker shooting his hatchery.
Not a good place to be. Already 3 SCVs are here.
Yeah, this is horrible. The natural is most definitely gone. There's no real way you can defend against this at this point, especially if you have no idea it's coming. Now that he sees Marine, he should definitely know what's the follow-up going to be. What's the damage control here?
Well, just a bunch of lings, as many as he can make coming out here. 2 queens as well, 1 out of each hatchery. But already there are 3 Marines down there. A bunker's being made. He's got a bunker to go back to. He's going to make a couple of spines, it looks like, up at the top of the ramp.
Yeah, it's probably the better choice. He's going to maybe try and walk them down, and get as many lings as he can to maybe try and defend against this. Though I think it's too late. Now this first bunker's going to, the second bunker's about to finish in range of this hatchery.
Yeah.
Making a lot of links behind this there.
Yeah, he's just trying to save up as many as possible. I don't think he's lost many. Trying to take as much damage as he possibly can on that hatchery. Maybe wait for the spine crawlers to finish and walk him down the ramp. But as you said, looking pretty dire for Rogue here. That hatchery is getting very, very low.
Oh, this is a bold move with the Marines. I think maybe his secondary plan, let the hatchery go, spread some creep with these tumors, and start clearing up the bunkers with these spine crawlers once he has some space to do so.
Yeah, gonna let that hatchery go.
So he's gonna be playing from behind no matter what. Marine's actually committing to doing some damage to these spines as well. If he had a couple more SCVs up here, he could keep these bunkers alive indefinitely. Doesn't necessarily have to though. At this point, he can just use that choke point with the bunkers to stop anything coming through while he expands.
Just sitting back. He's got 2 bunkers there at the choke. I don't think that's a full wall.
I think it might be actually. It's just barely.
Look at this. We already have 30 lings saved up here for Rogue. A nice transfuse. He's going to try to break this bunker and maybe go for it once the speed finishes.
Yep. Well, speed is finished. He's going to get those Marines inside those 2 bunkers. They have a nice little wall off there. And he is expanding, and he's going to be blocking off BrAvO's own natural with those 2 barracks. So there's no real chance of ling damage happening.
Yeah.
But it would be good for Rogue to take back the map.
And we do see him secure that natural. But BrAvO is actually committing to another bunker here at the front. He's just going to try to keep him contained on 2 base for now.
Yeah, I like this a lot, actually. It's so strong. It gives him so much space to do whatever he wants. And look at that. He's even going to let them go. There's no point really defending against spine crawlers like this. You're not going to be able to efficiently do so. As long as he gets the Marines back home. If he can get them home before the lings come down the map. But that's exactly what Rogue's looking for. He's going to try and catch out these Marines. He's
the
running
chase
against
is
the clock.
on.
It's going to be close.
It's going to be extremely close. Looks like he's going to try to bait out those lings, but he's smart. He tries to get through, but no.
Very close. That would be game ending, that's for sure.
Yeah, just barely doing that. No, one spine getting pretty low, but he's going to clean that up now. And now Rogue is just going to have to play a bit from behind. You know, he's made all these lings. That hatch at the natural is extremely late. And BrAvO, he's got 3 bases behind this, or at least 3 command centers.
Yeah. He's got quite the lead at this point in terms of economy. Supplies, you know, still in favor of Rogue right now just because he has so many units on the map. But Rogue's got some catching up to do, though he's not out of it just yet. Was a fair amount of damage losing that hatchery, but I believe he could make a comeback from here.
Look at this. The tech lab is on the outside and it's researching STEM.
Yeah. That's pretty...
Make like a Baneling nest and just roll a bunch of Banelings in.
That's definitely something we've seen before. You know, make like 4 Banelings, DPS it down, reset their stim counter.
Yeah. Imagine if BrAvO was up to the top right and he didn't have to worry about that move.
Yeah, well, that'd be the dream.
The Terran dream.
Yeah, Terran dream, making that stim after 2 racks proxying.
So it looks like Rogue is going to try to go for a very early Spire after his pretty early lair and get a Baneling nest down as well. Whereas BrAvO looks like he's just playing for the late game. 2 engineering bays come down. Going to try to get those upgrades out as soon as possible.
Yeah, he did get his 3rd gas actually pretty quickly in his natural, pretty much before any minerals were mining. So he really wanted to get these upgrades out, up and running. So he's going to have 1-1 long before Rogue has his.
Yeah. The thing I'm worried about for BrAvO is like that stim is going to go down. The Baneling nest is about to finish. You can make those Banelings and just roll them in.
Yeah, this is actually a big mistake to have to be doing that on the outside of your base. He should have made a 3rd barracks and put it out there. Or maybe even made a 3rd racks in this choke and landed one of the earlier ones into the main base.
Yeah. Overseer now trying to get a scout of the main. Sees that 3rd orbital.
5 Banes on the way. We are going to see that canceled. There's no chance of that finishing before this goes down.
There you go. So it happens with that tech lab on the outside. Here come the Banes. And they roll straight in. No stim for you. Gets denied.
That's going to take a long time for BrAvO to get out of his natural there.
He kills it again.
Yeah, he's actually even remaking it there. It's like, well, I don't think that's a good idea, BrAvO. I think at this point, maybe...
It's almost like stubbornness at this point.
He should just lift one, land it somewhere else, and remake something there.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of Hellions out already. He's not going to be too weak against those run-bys.
No, definitely not.
And without stim, it's going to make it much harder for BrAvO to deal with these mutas.
Yeah, he's going to have 1-1 before stim, which is pretty funny as well. It's like actually going to have upgrades. But, you know, Rogue's still in catch-up mode. 3rd base only finishing now. But he's got it essentially fully saturated at this point in terms of minerals mining.
Yeah, it's very true, but getting that stim is so important.
Yeah, it gives him just that much more breathing space at a time where he could be in a lot of trouble. If these Marines had stim at this point, he could be moving across the map, applying a lot of pressure.
Viking finally gets taken out after getting 4 kills. Looks like 4 overlords for that 1 Viking. Pretty efficient there, I'd have to say.
A little bit of a mistake from Rogue as well as no upgrades just yet. Despite having a pretty healthy income in terms of gas, he should have 2 Evos down by at this point. Even upgrading Mutalisks would be a pretty good idea, but...
You think he's just totally forgotten them, or is he just trying to forego them for now?
I think he's just trying to be pretty aggressive at this point. He's really looking to do some damage. Maybe he thinks he's pretty far ahead. Maybe he thinks he can do critical damage considering there is no stim on the map.
I suppose it is possible. He's going to have Speed Banes out before there is that stim. But still, no upgrades, as you said. If that does fail, he's going to be very far behind. Uh-oh.
Taking a nasty hit. And, I mean, he put down the 2 Evos now. Not using them just yet, but he does have that option. So he's looking for it. He's not going to take advantage of his lack of upgrades and go for anything earlier on. Just making that mutable, adding a lot of mutas, actually.
That's where all of his gas is going. And he's even going to get the +1 to that air attack.
2-2 already on the way as well for BrAvO at this point.
Yeah, it was a little bit delayed, as our observer did point out a little bit earlier, but he is going to get that out even before 1-1 has started. And finally, we do see the 1-1 from Rogue. Maybe saying, oh, he's got too much stuff. I can't quite find that small hole to do that damage to BrAvO.
Yeah, it's still going to be hard with, Widow Mines out on the map now and a bunch of Hellions. Still, this amount of mutas is going to create a lot of pain.
Yeah, he's going to create that pain, but he does finally have the stim at least. It's one thing BrAvo's got going for him. These mutas are just going to fly in.
Yeah, that main base. It has 2 turrets, but he can get rid of them pretty quickly with this many mutas. 17 mutas in this block.
Yep, trying to get rid of the turret, but a really nice repair. And in fact, going to lose one of those mutas, it looked like.
Yeah. Oh.
I think he's desperately trying to find this damage, but not quite finding it. And he's committing pretty much only to these mutas at this point. He's got a nice ball of 51 lings, but no banelings on the map.
Yeah, sitting at 19 mutas now. 1-1 only half done. 2-2's actually going to be finished before the 1-1 of these Ling Banes. So this is actually going to be a pretty big timing that BrAvO can take on the map. Can start working this creep as well.
I think Rogue is just going to rely on his Muta control to win this one because he is so far behind on those upgrades, as you said. Trying to go for counterattacks, trying to pull back the bio of BrAvO. His creep spread is pretty nice, too. He's got a lot of active tumors out there, but a nice clear here from BrAvO.
Yeah, he's going to be starting working his way up the middle. Even despite the upgrade disadvantage, it's still going to be tricky to fight like a lot of Link Bane on creep. It's going to really come down to a lot of positioning and micro from BrAvO.
Yeah. He's going to have a whole set of upgrades, plus the drilling claws. Trying to trigger that Widowmine, but he misses it. But no good target there on the Banelings, and the Banelings trying to roll through now with that speed and get that damage done.
Oh, they're trapped, but not enough hits. Most of the SCVs remain.
Yeah, but at the same time, a ton of damage being done over here at the Natural. So many Mutas in that ball, and no response.
Yeah, I think this might trigger a huge counter attack from BrAvO. He's like, well, the Natural's gone. It's time to go for the kill. He might just do it because we did see a lot of Link Bane be used up on that third base with not much damage done.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's turning around. I think this is a mistake. I think at this point, you got to have to get something done now because you can't just keep turning around and letting the Zerg remake their army.
It's a really hard call at this point, but BrAvO maybe panicking just a little bit. He's taking so much damage. All these Mutas right on top of those SCVs doing so many more kills.
Yeah, this shouldn't. This amount of Mutas shouldn't be allowed to run free. And he's going to catch him out. Nice little Stim Marines at the back of the Natural and a nice Widowmine hit. Getting rid of a chunk of them. Only 14 remain now.
Drop from about 22 to 14.
And look at that supply lead for BrAvO right now. You know, he does have some pretty good chance to move across the map and actually try and put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, but is he going to? That's the question. You know, a lot of hesitation from BrAvO so far in this game, and allowing Rogue now to get up this fourth base. Pretty uncontested. He's got a drop over there, but at the same time, it's not doing too much damage. It looks like it's being cleaned up right now.
Yeah. Seems like a little rattled. He's in that defensive mode. I'd love to see him move out in the map now, considering how much of an advantage he has in terms of upgrades, as well as army supply.
Yeah. The one thing that Rogue did find was both the engineering bays. It did delay the 3-3 of BrAvO at least a little bit here. Another nice run by coming in towards the third base. Gonna get that bunker in those Marines at least.
Mutas coming out in the map again. They did get caught out, but this is just causing BrAvO to move back once again. BrAvO just too hesitant to move forward. You know, the creep spread's been cut off pretty hard as well. Yeah. A lot of Banelings though. 4 Rogue sitting at home, 42 to be exact, waiting for this army to move across the map.
Look at the worker lead here for Rogue. It's 82 to 44. But at the same time, the army supply of BrAvO is so far ahead. But look at this. The engineering base once again going to go down. One of them at least. That +3 attack is going to be denied. And that is pretty huge. Yeah,
that's a pretty important one. I think BrAvO is just continually running out of time more and more to do actually anything with this advantage he's had this whole time. It's kind of confusing how this keeps happening.
Yeah. I think this is truly the mark of a player who's like on tier 1, like a god tier player, and someone who's just quite hasn't reached that level just yet. You know, Maru probably would have walked across the map and killed Rogue by now.
Yeah, Dream would have definitely done that. Like, Dream would have been like in his base by the time these Mutas got towards him. Like,
yeah. And look at this.
Pure aggression.
Banelings rolling through. That entire third base going to be taken out. And Rogue is just never fighting this army straight up. No micro there, taking a lot of damage on those Marines now.
Yep. You know, even keeping a Thor at home could have been the answer to this, you know, with a bunch of turrets. Instead, just continually moving the entire army back, absorbing all this damage, wiping out what Rogue is throwing at him, but the Muta wall stays exactly the same.
There were so many Widowmines over there, and they did a ton of damage to all the Mutas, but...
Yeah, they are all in red, like one shot away from dying.
Oh, boy. So many of them are being popped now, in fact. I think Rogue may have overstayed his welcome.
Yeah, down to 9 Mutas to be exact. So he's gone a long way down, but at the same time, he's still sitting at home with a large amount of Link Bane, just waiting for an army to move across the map, finally onto the creep.
He's literally just sitting there. He's like, okay, if you want to come here, it's totally fine.
He's been there for so long. Look at this. He's going to engage without the most of his army. Could be a bit of a mistake there.
I don't think there were any Widowmines in that mix either. No AoE to deal with that ton of those banelings and lings rolling in.
He absorbed a lot of those banelings, though, so if he can jump on top of this army, especially the morphing banes right now, maybe he has a shot.
He's trying to do just that, trying to get a good spread on those Widowmines now. Decent hits go off, and the Thor's in the front trying to tank, but how much is left over here for Rogue, in fact?
Not that much. Still a pretty big mute account, mind you. He's built it back up to 20. But the scarier thing is he needs a lot of Link Bane to buffer for this. He needs something to help DPS down these Thors and Mines.
He's trying to make that push forward right now. The Banelings rolling through, but a really nice spread here from BrAvO. Not quite finding the hit, trying to get the Widowmines.
Big Widowmine hit there on the mutas, and he might have actually just ran out of steam. Only a handful of mutas left over once again.
Oh, man. Finally. And he's on top of that natural now. BrAvO looks like he may have just done it.
I think he has. He finally cracked. He finally made it across the map to put that nail in the coffin that we've been waiting for. That's such an advantage.
Bunch of lings do pop out here. No Widowmines, but so many medevacs filling all that bio. And they're just fighting straight up against the mutas.
Oh.
The mule comes down. BrAvO says, get out of my game.
You dare do that to someone like Rogue? He is playing with fire. I guess he gets away with it today. Going to try and build some momentum, build the morale of his team for Reality, who has to take this to an ace match.
Rogue is so pissed right now after that. He is not happy that BrAvO would dare do that, but this game is over. GG. Samsung gonna take the win on the backs of BrAvO. Two people thought it was possible, and he made it work somehow, some way. You were saying he was hesitating a lot, but eventually, I think Rogue overcommitted at one point, and he lost too much, and BrAvO finally opened it up to go for that push.
Yeah, he overcommitted way too hard. He was keeping BrAvO at home for a long time, but BrAvO always had that army advantage, always had that upgrade advantage. It was just about him getting to Rogue's base and finishing the job with a good fight, and he got it in the end.
This is insane. In fact, I thought this was going to be a 3-0. BrAvO keeps the hopes alive of Samsung. And now we're jumping into Pure versus Reality. Reality, a very strong meching Terran. He's good in the TBT matchup. Pure also a very strong player, though. And it's going to be a close one, man. I don't know.
Yeah, this is going to be a very close one. I looked at this match and I was like, yeah, I dare say it should be Pure's game. If it's the Pure that we've been watching for most of this year, he's like a fantastic Terran player. Usually shines more than TVZ than anything else, but does have great TVT. And Reality, he's the kind of guy that just hasn't really been getting anything done anywhere. Like he hasn't really made it in individual leagues. He doesn't do that much in Pro League as well. Today might be his day there.
Yeah, especially off the back of that win. You know, Reality may have been saying, oh, well, I guess I don't even get to keep my team in this one. Like, me going in fourth and they get 3-0, there's nothing I can do. But now he's given that chance. The pressure is on. This guy has a lot of experience, but can he make it work today against Pure? That is the question that everybody is asking right now. Pure versus Reality for game number 4 to keep Samsung Galaxy's hope alive. If they even get 2 wins, keep in mind, they don't even have to win. But if they get 2 wins, they still have a chance of staying in.
A shot in the dark, so it can happen, Valdez. I'm getting pretty excited for this one.
Yeah, it's insane, man. Pure versus Reality on Bonnie Research Station. Man, I would favor Pure in most chances, in most games rather. But Reality, you know, his mech is quite strong, and this is like the perfect mech to do it. We've seen a lot of meching Terrans just trying to solve that bio versus mech Terran that some of the players are still trying to make work, but it's not looking as strong these days. And Pure, he says his TVT is strong, and it is, but he hasn't quite found the success in Pro League so far. And the pressure's on for sure. Like, they don't want to give Samsung that shot at all. They just want to win. They do not want an ace match.
Yeah, definitely not. So, no, I'm really looking forward to this one. I do enjoy some mech versus bio play.
Yeah.
It is hard to kind of, for the bio side of things, to get stuff done on this map too, because, you know, you put a turret wall up in your pocket natural, and you're not going to find any damage there usually. Yeah. And so it's such a hard map. It's why we do see mech nearly all the time on this map. Yeah. Usually every sort of Terran that loves to go mech, whether it be Sky High or BrAvO or whatever, if they get a chance
Yoda
to do it,
even,
they'll do it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Yoda even does it against Protoss. That's how much they love it on Bonnie Research.
Didn't quite work out for him, but
kind of